I'm Bob Loy with some safety tips for the 4th of July.
I'm Christy Mueller. Southern Idaho is still operating under a possible brownout situation.
I'm Alan Cutler. No, perhaps this is not the most famous sport in the world, but I'll tell you what, it's a splashing success.
And I'm Paul Reese. This is a very special day in Idaho history.
Action News with Paul Reese and Christy Mueller, Alan Cutler with sports, and Marty Holtman with the weather.
Good evening. Here's what's happening. Residential, commercial, and irrigation electricity users teamed up today to cope with a sudden power emergency in Idaho. Yesterday,
KBOI-TV, Boise. Live from Idaho's capital city. This is 2 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. And our top story tonight, some are calling it a miracle. Rescue crews in New Orleans are stunned that no one was killed after a freighter crashed into a shopping area.
Investigators are working on the cause. Meanwhile, Dave Failing shows us how much damage the accident caused.
City. This is 2 News at 10.
Good evening. A convicted killer and his cellmate are on the run tonight after escaping from Idaho's maximum security prison this morning.
You're watching KBOI TV 2 Boise. Accurate, objective, fair. You're watching Idaho's 24-hour news channel. 2 News at 10 starts now.
Scores of elk carcasses litter an area built to help them survive. Good evening, I'm Melinda O'Malley. Ron is home sick tonight. The largest number of carcasses are in camp.
Local 2 News Daybreak starts now.
They're computer programmers, bookkeepers, manufacturers by day. They moonlight by working on the railroad.
At 10. Accurate, objective, fair. This is Idaho 2 News, 10 at 10. All the day's news and weather in the first 10 minutes at 10 o'clock.
But the fact is, we've increased education funding every year I've been governor.
That one line in Governor Dirk Kempthorne's latest political ad is sparking controversy. His Democratic opponent accuses the governor of misleading voters. Good evening, everyone. I'm Melinda O'Malley.
And I'm Jeff Ray. The governor claims education funding has...
After hearing a number of allegations of prison employee abuse, the Idaho Department of Correction director says it's time to get to the bottom of it. Good evening, I'm Brooke Hale. The department is working with an outside contractor traveling to all 8 state prisons to find out if the allegations of retaliation by former employees are true. Kirsten Thronson sat down with one former correction officer and joins us now with more.
Well, Brooke, IDOC won't comment about specific allegations.
Accurate, objective, fair. You're watching KBOI CBS 2 News.
Disturbing new details emerged today in the decade-old murder case of JonBenet Ramsey.
Got an idea on the future of Meridian? So do city leaders.
Tonight on KBOI 2 News at 5.
I'd like to turn back in and land. Coming back in.
Go on, cancel takeoff clearance, full chart. Correction, cancel takeoff clearance.
A tragic day at the Boise airport as the CEO of a major Treasure Valley employer dies in a single-engine plane crash.
You're watching KBOI 2 News at 5. Watching out for you.
Steve Appleton, the chairman and chief executive officer of Micron, is dead at the age of 51. Thanks for coming home to KBOI 2 News at 5. I'm Mike Murad. The man who led Micron Technology for the past 18 years, Steve Appleton, lost his life today.
This is KBOI 2 News at 9 on the CW. Watching out for you.
And good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Moore. And Sergeant Bo Bergdahl has taken an important step in his reintegration process.
Now on KBOI-2 News at 10.
Police, students, and a Meridian Park.
She's old enough to make her own choices with this kind of issue.
The latest chapter on a controversial book.
Plus, I didn't know Boise, Idaho before. Now I don't even know. I don't even know it. It's right in here.
the message a special guest and close relative of Anne Frank wants you to hear.
But first, an Idaho veteran wants her true love to be buried next to her one day. But the Idaho Veterans Cemetery says it can't happen despite her service to the country. We found out why. That story is first on 2. A veteran who eventually wants to be buried with her deceased spouse is being denied that request at the Idaho State Veterans Cemetery. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Mike Murad.
And I'm Natalie Hurst. That's because
his cabinet, who President-elect Joe Biden named for one of the top jobs.
And the U.S. is breaking more coronavirus records. Now some states are cracking down. We'll look at some of the new restrictions being implemented in cities across the U.S.
And we're setting new highs in Idaho, too. How many people are being treated for this virus in our hospitals?
This is CBS 2 News This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to CBS 2. It is Thursday, November 12th. All right, I know it gets kind of colder as we get the sunset, Nate. I'm Brian Levin, but this was the second morning so far. I've had to get the ice scraper out for those that park outside.
Oh, no. Yep, not the best time of year.
And President Trump celebrates his acquittal. What he said about the minority of senators who voted to convict him.
This is CBS 2 News at 4.
The atmosphere around our nation's capital is changing after the impeachment trial comes to an end.
Here is a triumphant President Trump at the White House today.
How local police are teaming up with a company famous for doorbell cameras to keep you safe.
Ending daylight saving. Will Idaho stop springing forward and falling back?
Inspiring positivity. How one young man is getting his chance to shine on the court.
But first, stretching the long arm of the law, hundreds of police departments across the country are partnering with Ring, the company made famous for making doorbell cameras. Now in the Treasure Valley, the Meridian Police Department is the only one currently doing this. And CBS 2's Brian Moore is live. He's at the Meridian Police Department to find out how the partnership is working.
News at 9 on the CW.
Off the top tonight, disturbing new details in a case of animal abuse, a case that began here in Boise.
After 8 years, a Boise law school announces it's closing. A look at Concordia's big announcement. The CDC reports 220 new cases of coronavirus today. A look at the 8 counties that still have 0 cases. Plus, Idahoans gather at Julia Davis Park. Their message to lawmakers, they want their freedoms back.
This is CBS 2 News at 10.
Tonight, dozens of people gathered at Julia Davis Park to speak out against the government's actions during the coronavirus pandemic. CBS 2's Trevor Fay attended the event to learn more, and he joins us now live in Boise.
A bear breaks into this family's home, causing a panic, but the family's dog takes control of the situation. What he did and sacrificed to keep them safe. And they answer the call when you need them. Now, this Treasure Valley Fire Department needs you. Why the CUNA Rural Fire Department says it needs more firefighters sooner rather than later.
This is CBS 2 News at 5:30.
Well, good evening, I'm Brian. Looking ahead to the
Lands in Garden City, but it's not what you think.
I'm a landlord, and I'm convinced if I had the funding to build it, which I don't, that I can build affordable housing and make a profit.
Some Boise refugees will soon be homeless. Why their advocates today were speaking up.
And it's finally starting to cool down here in the Treasure Valley, but temperatures still remain hotter than normal. The forecast is next.
This is KBOI-2 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Rick Douglas. Tonight, residents in the Glenbrook apartments will soon have no place to live.
At a White House summit, the action he plans to take to prioritize access for Americans.
Central District Health could vote on its new health order today, when it will start being enforced if passed.
CBS 2 News This Morning starts now.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us. It is Tuesday, December 8th. A live look in downtown Boise. I'm Brian Levin.
And I'm Denny Hawkins. We'll send it over now to meteorologist Nate Larson.
2 News starts now.
Well, welcome to CBS 2 News. This midday live look in downtown Boise. Now, in a few days, we continue virus restrictions throughout Ada County and in 3 other counties as well. Central District Health could vote on that order as soon as this evening, and it would affect Boise.
Idaho State Police ordered personal protective equipment for its troopers. We'll tell you why it never came. Welcoming Boise's new fire chief, the event today that made it official. Spreading Christmas cheer virtually. How you and your family can get into a sing-along with people from every corner of our state.
CBS 2 News starts now.
So did you see this story yesterday on 60 Minutes?
CBS 2 News starts now.
Off the top, tracking the coronavirus in Idaho. These numbers that we're about to show you here are the most updated. We just got them in a few minutes ago.
2 News at 9 on the CW.
So if I just have to do something that can be kind of inconvenient at times, then I'm willing to do it, because we do work in such close contact with people. Without them,
If caught, they're often treated as the criminal, not the victim. Why? We investigate in tonight's Spotlight on America. A nurse with St. Alphonsus talks about the emotional burden of caring for patients who are isolated from their loved ones, how she helps bridge the COVID divide. But first, Central District Health poised to crack down what the new health order could mean for business owners.
This is CBS 2 News at 10.
so if I just have to do something that can be kind of inconvenient at times, then I'm willing to do it, because we do work in such close contact with people.
KBOI-TV, Boise.